What's the worst career advice you've ever received, do you think?
Back to my university student era in Korea, I was at study at one of the very okay school, like including one of the top 10 in Seoul school in Korea. But one of my senior, he told me like, if you don't reach out to the Sky University top 3, your life might be not meaningful. So you might not get a proper job, you might not land the position you would like to. So he asked me to like quit school and start like Korean SAT called Sunung once again. But I thought about it seriously, but I didn't take it. But if I actually took that advice for real, then wow, I'm pretty sure my life's gonna be way more miserable and stressful and much more delayed. So that was a worse career and my future advice.
That is very common advice in
Very
Korea.
common.
First of all, can you introduce yourself?
I'm currently studying one of the university or college in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area.
Then, how have you been in university in Korea before?
I studied 2 semesters, so 1 year.
Then, how much have you been in US university?
This is my 4th semester, so in the just academic period, it's the second 2 years.
Then, what is the biggest difference between Korea and USA in the point of university life?
I think less competitive because most of Korean schools, like only top 4% of the class can get an A plus or something like grading structure. But in the America, it's just like challenging yourself. Most of schools, except some of the schools, but in my case, if I above satisfaction, 98%, 97% of the entire material, homework, exams, I can get A plus myself. So it's all about how can I manage myself, how can I treat myself properly, how can I manage my time. So I would say it's like time to take care of myself more. But Korea is like more competitive because I have to be better than my friends and students in the same class.
Is there a difference between Korean 20s and the US 20s?
Well, my life in Korea as a 20s is like I would say more structured by every each of number. Like what are you supposed to do in 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old? Like you have to finish your military service and you might need to get some internship for your future career and more experiences. Like reaching out to specific class status like freshman to sophomore, sophomore to junior, well more organized and they're more judging by the age and what kind of accomplishment you made. But in here, it's like more loose because everybody think about something else. Like everyone want to reach out different goals. So it's like more loose. So like whatever your age is like 21, 23, 25, even some people like they're attending class with their baby. So like I would say it's more loose and free, more diverse.
Then, which mood is fit to you?
Well, since I can't get released from the stresses and the pressure from the society, I obviously would like to say American 20s is way more better than Korean 20s, unfortunately.
How much money did you bring in the United States?
Well, I got some support from my family for my school tuition. So exclude that just for living expenses. I just came here with a $1,000, just $1,000.
Isn't it feel hard to live here with $1,000?
Well, yeah, it's very limited, and I have to started to earn money through like a part-time job or internship. So yeah, it was pretty big challenge to me, and I really need to make a proper financial planning to manage my budget, which is $1,000. But I spend most of the money to settle in, like buy living things like a pillow, blankets, new backpack, closings, like which just makes sense weather over here. So yeah, I spend $1,000 mostly with living expenses. So I literally don't have extra money to spend for myself. So it was very challenging to me.
Okay, then how much does it cost to attend school for a semester in the US?
So it depends on school, but in my case, I picked my school based on scholarship opportunity, and also I do some like work and studies. I'm doing resident assistance to serve my residents, so I got a state stipend and some scholarship with that. So I'm paying 6.5K per semester right now.
Okay, then what was your major?
My major is business analytics and marketing. So my major is basically dealing with them how can I visualize the data, like numbers, like just like we use the Excels and the graphs and the charts. That's like very basic work, and through that we give presentations to the stakeholders, decision makers, and the CEOs to convince them to maybe we need to invest this field, or we are not supposed to invest that field, something like be a like advisor for them. And also through the insight, we have to receive a lot of information, read a lot of newspaper too. Through that, we give it like proper insight and provide like proper insight and a perspective to people and just business relators.
Then why did you go to that major?
Because I really love to communicate with people, and I also have a lot of interest in the multiple topics, and that was like economic issues, political issues, like a cultural issues, like a lot of things. And I just want to use my knowledge to help people, especially in the business, making their decision. So I just like automatically attracted by something analytical thing and a consulting things.
Then if you have one more chance to change your major, what would you choose?
Because of the immigration issue, it's pretty tough because technically my major is under the business school, so it's not considered as like actual tax school or something like that. But to solve immigration issue and more approachable to the immigration issue, American government really prefers like who are majoring in tech field. So I would say if any chance given, I would like to study data science or computer science, like a little bit more leaning toward to the computer programmings and coding things.
Then what are the most popular jobs for American college students in these days?
Well, I'm not sure about the entire America, but in California, specifically Northern California, Silicon Valley, and San Francisco Bay Area, obviously it's the tech fields. Like I have seen a lot of students majoring in a computer science, even furthermore that they double majoring with the business and the economy degrees as well. And I have seen a lot psychology majors students to become a like mental health care like specialist and counselor, something like that. Because America is very different with Korea. Because Korean people don't go to shrink like mental hospital, like they are mentally ill or getting stressed a lot. We usually don't go hospital or see counselor to deal with those kind of issues. But in America, it's pretty common to get a counsel from a specialist and a professional. And actually, a lot of American people have neurodiversity issues like a ADHD and autism, something like that. So yeah, I would say one from tech field, so like a computer science programmer, and second one is like a psychologist, counselor.
Then what are the least popular jobs?
Mostly related with some physical labor, just general physical labor like carpenter or working with the tools. I think our generation is like avoiding those kind of like physical labor in general. Next level is like service jobs. A lot of students do the service job as like a part-time position, like a hotel service, hospitalities, and restaurant manager and a server. A lot of people actually working on that field, but in my experience from my friends and a lot of students, they don't want it to stay in that field for a long time. So first one is like physical labor. Second one is customer service.
Okay, then what's the most memorable class you took as a college student?
That's a really good question. I took a media and society class back to my freshman year. There's like a picture in a diversity perspective. What is equal, equity, something like that with the picture. It was like it's a rock from my soul. It gave me really different perspectives. Like how am I supposed to treat people, approach the people who are different with me. It's like different cultural background, or maybe that person have a disability or some kind of any other issues, and how can I treat them properly? How can I approach them to properly? So that was very impressive class.
Okay, then what was the most memorable sentence or statement from a professor?
I took a macroeconomics class last semester. He mentioned money talks, like money works in the America at least. And money is like, it's not moral, it's not beautiful, it's very ugly. If you have more money, then you're more leaning toward to something positive. If you don't have money, then maybe that's the starting point of you getting like struggle yourself or something. So he specifically mentioned money talks, and that's very cruel and don't like to say like that, but it is what it is.
What did you learn while attending a university in Silicon Valley?
I would say a lot of cultures and a lot of people. Just learn about more people. Because in Korea, we're a one nation country. So like we just basically form with the Koreans, but we don't see from another country. Like we don't see many students, like international students from abroad that much. But in here, in my schools, like almost 60% of students are international students and across the world. and I was able to see really diverse language and a culture, their perspectives. Example, I learned a lot of Spanish, like Mexican culture, South American cultures, like Colombians, Argentinians culture, and my best friends are like they're Latinas and Latinos. They're like Hispanic friends. So I was able to learn Spanish speaking culture in the South America and Middle America like a lot, like just below America. So it gives me more opportunity to understand people, understand culture. So yeah, I would say I learn a different perspective from people.
Then can you say some example of learning about that?
Thing I used to have a pretty conservative mindset. If something is different with me, I usually just say no, and that's not my thing. But now I'm more open minded, and try to do something. Like even that is not my thing. I never experienced, and likely I don't want it to do. But with friends and with people, I try first. Then I started to putting my opinions. Like, oh, actually, I thought I'm not gonna like this, but actually I like it, or not 100%, but still I got the point. Maybe I can do sometimes with my friends. So like I'd be more proactive in activities. Like I'm trying more, challenging more, having a new experiences. So I'll say I'm more proactive and more open minded.
Then why do you think people are good at listening to English but not speaking it?
Asians were like for those who English is not a first language. I think English cultural contents are very common. Like we listen to pop music, we watch movie with the subtitle and YouTube, whatever it is. We have a lot of chance to exposed by like English contents. But speaking is a little bit different because you actually have to form sentence, think about the vocabulary and put it in the right place and actually say it with the right accent and the pronunciation. So it asking for more procedure to actually spit it out from your mouth. So I think that's first reason. I think second reason is like we don't have much chance to practice English in our daily life because our culture, society is surrounded by our own language, like Asian language, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. So there are not many actually chance to surrounded by English oriented culture, like maybe European culture. So just naturally wouldn't have chance to use English in a practical way.
Then I think you are very good at Korean accent and English accent too. So I want to show some people to that point. Can you introduce yourself in Korean?
안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 경영 분석과 마케팅을 공부 중인 학생입니다.
And can you introduce yourself in English?
Hello, greetings. I'm studying business analytics and marketing in the America, and I'm a junior.
How do you learn accent or accent change in English?
I was taught English by British teacher, so actually I speak British English, but I'm kind of Americanized and I had to adapt with American accent and American expressions. So I'm using American English right now, but actually I'm more comfortable with the British accent. So learn from native speaker, that was a very key point, which is mean I can surround it by their native culture. Even like I changed myself in laptop setting to English, intentionally surround myself with English.
That's cool. Then I think it's a also similar question. How did you develop your English speaking skills?
Well, I definitely say practice more. Don't hesitate. You don't have to be shy because there are a lot of people who are taking English as a second language. It's not first language. So many people would understand even your English is not perfect. Even my grammar is very broken, but it's still understandable. So my friends, they correcting me with the grammars and the vocabulary for more like proper expressions sometimes. So I would say keep challenge, keep trying, and surround yourself with English if you really want to improve your English skill. The environment is very important. So that's why people moving to America or closely around East Asian country like a Singapore or Philippines to learn English because they use English more than Korea or any other Asian countries.
That's cool. Then are there any good and interesting American talk shows for learning English?
Yeah, there are a lot of talk shows like very common on YouTube with a Korean subtitle like a Jimmy Fallon and a Conan O'Brien. But I would say recently Jimmy O Yang, the Asian it's a comedy show. It's a stand-up comedy, but he's dealing with the Asian culture, like what is the Asian stereotype happening in the America. So it's a way more familiar contents for us. So even we don't know English that much, we are struggling to understand the context of the show, but he's dealing with something very familiar and makes sense topic to Asian people. So content is familiar with us, so you might just need to focus on the English. So I really wanted to recommend take a look and check out Jimmy O Yang stand-up comedy show.
How old are you?
I supposed to mention with the Korean age first. It's 26, but actually in general it's 24. So I was born in 1999.
Then what does it feel like to be 24?
feels like my early 20s has been passed so quickly, and I was like about to hit the middle of 20s, and I just started to look back my life, like what did I accomplish and what did I do and what am I supposed to do in the future. So it's like it feels like kind of the checkpoint of my life.
What is the biggest regret in your life?
Well, I think basically it's like time management. I wasted my time sometimes. Of course, it was fun, it was good too, and I learned something from a bit. But I just thought myself, what if I utilize those time with more efficiency? Maybe read more books, work hard, study hard. But I feel like so tired of the lot of things. So work, okay, just normal work, normal playing. So once I actually get back to my home and sit it down to my desk and think myself like, I don't think I studied properly today. I don't think I enjoyed today much. Yeah, I didn't utilize my time wisely.
How important do you think money is?
Well, at least in the America, we're in a capitalism society. It's very important. If you have a money, your resource will be drastically different. Like just example, like for transportation, if you have a car, well, you can go everywhere, anywhere, anytime you want to. But if I don't have a car, I have to shackled with buses, like trains, like public transits. That's a really basic, simple thing. I think yeah, money's pretty important. So I would say 7 to 8 out of 10.
Do you think that we should read books?
I think the key point in a sense of reading book is even we are not physically in there, in that school, in that place, or in that experience, you can learn from a bit just by reading of things and use your imaginations as well. So yeah, in a traditional way, I really wanted to recommend to read a book. But if you cannot, or if you don't really want to read a book, I just would like to say do something more thing, like step out from your safety boundary and try more things. Try to learn something you never knew and see more, experience more, trying more, do some challenges. So I think that's a key point of the read a book. So make sure we can have more broad and wide perspective.
Then, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I definitely want to say to myself, read a book more because reading is hard, very calm, just deal with the pages and numbers and letters. It's a definitely give you a chance to meditate yourself, reflect yourself, and you will have more opportunity to increase your language skills, whatever language is, even your native language, like in my case, even Korean. It's like I can use more words, expressions, terms, maybe grammatical issues as well. It's like to improve my thoughts, my wide perspective. I just want to say read book more because if I actually getting old and be 20s or be high school student or college student or be in the military, there's not many time to actually cares about read a book. So I really want to say read a book once you have a time.
Okay. Then my question is all finished. Do you have anything that you want to talk more?
Well, my every responses and answers based on my personal experience, and I don't want to say myself I'm very experienced person in the America. So even my answer is like a biased or stereotypical. Please understand kindly. And I would like to say, especially for those who hesitate to go abroad in any form, like as an international student, or as an intern, or working holiday visa, wherever it is, Australia, Canada, America, or United Kingdom. I would like to say, if you want to try, and if you thought about maybe that's one of my option in a future career or future opportunity, please take it. It may change your life drastically. It'll be help you to be more better person. You will have definitely have a chance to take a look at yourself more, and you'll understand yourself more as well. So if you thought about it and if you really wanted to do the research, and please participate in those programs. Those are phenomenal opportunity for your life, I'm pretty sure.
Even the book or like this video can help someone open their mind, but real experience is a bit better.
Of course, 100%. Like American culture is very common in Korea. We watch movies, we watch dramas, like in any genre, like war movies, like sitcoms, romance, and things. But it's a little bit different. It's very similar, but in actual real life, it's a little bit different. And you really definitely need to try some foods in the America, good foods, and feel the weather. And you will see like how weather changed people a lot. In Korea, summer is very hot, humid. So I was like always being like very annoying status, like oh my goodness, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do study, but just turn on the AC and laying down to my bed. But over here, Weather is very good. Daytime, sunshine, amazing. You can go to picnic. So in-person experience is very important as well. But we have a limited resources, limited time and money and etc. So we cannot experience everything. So that's why we need another method of experience, like such as reading a book, watch drama, watch movie, a documentary, some kind of things. But I definitely would like to recommend in-person experience.